Good evening, everybody, and good evening to all our viewers here at SpeedGaming 4, and welcome to the ALTTPR League Season 6. Link to the past Randomizer, Invitational League Week Number 2, a clash implicating the Beats from the East, represented by Moogle Charm, and the Bomb Squad, represented by Adirondack Rick. Moon Risen Phoenix here, bringing you this matchup, and joining me in the booth, Lonnie. Good evening.
Good evening to you. Hope you're well.
As well as I can be. Good to see everybody here tonight.
And we do have Madewalk Herd handling the tracking, the hard work. Thank you so much as well.
Absolutely. Trackers being the MVP. We wouldn't be able to do anything without them, so thank you so much.
Otherwise, we're just doing another casual boots race here, so it's going to be a start at Link's house. You start with the boots, you get a sword, and you have to do the full escape sequence, rescue Zelda, and we will be on our way.
I believe one of the usual skips, that being the take a debt after rescuing Zelda, isn't in play here, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, once you have rescued Zelda, and if you take a death warp, you start at Zelda Sum.
Yeah, that means unlike other modes where you'd start at the entrance to the castle itself. And we are underway.
That being said, if you find a mirror in the first few checks, you can mirror from Zelda's cell to the front.
That's about a 1 in 70 chance, though, as we'll pick up a 20 rupee, red rupee off the start, and we are off and running, quite literally. Quick map check reveals Red Crystalline Eastern Palace as well as a Pendant Desert Palace.
And a mispronunciation of our tracker's name, Matt Ewok Herd. I'm sorry about that. Thank you. Makes much more sense now.
So, Heart Piece and Triple Bombs. You're not going to complain off triple bombs off the start. You kind of need those early. Maybe not this early, however.
Looks like these runners are off to a swift start, though. I do love a good casual boots race. Really picks up after escape, but really the first couple minutes in escape, a couple of missteps, you can end up taking an unfortunate death. You still got to watch out.
Oh, and there is the early glove. That's first checking Hyrule Castle. You'll love to see it if you're a runner.
You do. It's a nice early item. It's not something you desperately need in this mode, simply because in a normal mode, in an open, you get a glove, you can do back of escape, but casual boots, you're going to get the back of escape done anyway, but you combine that with a hammer and a moon pearl, and suddenly it's Dark World access quickly.
Second check says 20 rupees, one step closer to Bottle Bender. Chat very much correct, saying it does put King Zora, which more runners will call by less savory names, in logic. And another step closer to Bottle Vendor in Zelda's cell, 20 rupees.
That basically does get us there. We got free money in the back of Lion's Hut, plus the money from the well, so we are good on Bottle Vendor money from now on. Should be good.
Usually, you never. Well, no, wait, you're right. The nickels lying around. You're right. I apologize.
Oh no, you are good. Any money they get on top of this, though, is pod money. It's Zora money. Money is still very useful, but at least Bottle Vendor's covered. And with the 3 bombs they got from escape, it's a lot less to have to worry about spending $50 on to get 10 bombs.
Oh, I've been there. You're absolutely right there.
You know, neck and neck at 340, going through the door. Gonna rescue Zelda. Get out of there at about 355.
If there's a lead, it's about a sixth of a second on Moogle Charm's side, but that's barely anything at this point.
And there we are. We are now lockstep.
There's the key, back of escape, not going to be a problem here.
So we have not found a map. So there's still 4 checks, 3 items, 1 map. Well, that room not cooperating with Rick very well, but does get a bomb drop.
So let's see what's in the back of escape. There's the map, a heart piece, and another 20.
Not much to write home about in Escape so far, but we did get that glove, so at least getting a bit of a head start in Light World. Plus, the vendor money is nice to have.
It's one less headache. Moogle Charm first out of the back of escape at 512. Rick just behind at 515.
Be interesting to see if either of them check Lumberjack. Statistically, the casual boot seeds, you have a much higher chance of having an Aga-related seed. Oh my gosh, Rick almost took a death there.
Not much to note in Bonk Rocks, only a triple bomb. Looks like Moogle Charm gonna go check Lumberjack Ledge early. Rick following suit.
Ooh, looks like a Lumberjack skip from Rick. We'll see if it works in his favor. Oh, we do get big 20s from the bush crabs. It's a good money find early.
Absolutely, and Lumberjack Ledge says, you're gonna have to climb Castle Tower. That's a hook shot.
Oh yeah, I know that Rick cannot hover if Swamp has a pendant. I don't know about Moogle Charm. I don't think either of them hover.
Charm looks like he's headed for an old man rescue in the dark.
I like this play. It's an early mountain rescue, so the thing about it is, unless you get a mirror, you know that eastern part of Death Mountain is going to be locked by Aga 1, so this will get you an early start.
Just a hard piece, nothing to write home about.
We'll see if not checking Lumberjack is going to pay off later for Rick, or how late it's going to be, because hookshot does not lock a lot, so you can get a lot done in the seed before finding that hookshot.
Quake and Blind's Hut, as well as Blue Mail and Kena Burna.
It's very blue blind set. We'll take it.
Meanwhile, Moogle Charm sees the bad item in Spectacle Rock Cave and is out of there.
And Moogle gonna head south towards South Shore, hoping to get something like a flute or powder maybe with a hammer before going to Kakariko.
Good old Southern Sweep. Meanwhile, Rick in the well finding a 20. Game wants to make absolutely sure you don't leave Kakariko without the essentials, doesn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. Not much in the well, but you get your bombs, you get a little money.
And you get half magic for good measure. How about that?
Not gonna turn that down, not required, but hey, you're not gonna refuse it. Ooh, Moogle farming early money, thinking maybe it's a early Zora play with that glove.
Hey, like your boots in Chicken Coop? Rick with the 20 find.
What seems like a theme of the scene.
And then the game says, hey, I forgot one of the essentials. Arrows. Never mind the fact that you can't use them yet.
Maybe you could just throw them at an enemy really hard.
Library check. Just a heart piece. Rick's gonna ignore that one while Moogle Charm headed for Agnes Cave.
Wow, okay, so if Moogle Charm starts going towards Kakariko at this point, nope, gonna probably do some more South Shore, probably Mini Moldorm. I was thinking if he goes for Escape, or not Escape, pardon me there. Oh, he's gonna do Cack from the South, oh my gosh, alright, so a lot of the time that Rick just lost going in Kakariko, getting a blue cane and armor, is now going to be made up because Moogle's going there to do the same thing.
So 10 minutes in, and really in terms of information, all we know, Moogle Charm knows the hookshot's on top of Castle Tower. That's it.
Yep, that could be some important information for Rick to be missing here, but only time will tell. Depends on how long it takes him to get there and how much progression the game gives and locks behind the hookshot.
Any Moldor Cave, no problem for Rick. What do we have here? We've got a lamp.
Oh, we are a sword or a... Oh, okay, that's it.
Oh, my goodness.
He now has access to his hookshot. He does not know it yet, though.
How soon do you think Moogle Charm could make the play once he gets over there? Because I don't see him letting go of Mini Moldorm Cave for much longer.
Well, hookshot right now is logical, and East F Mountain is logical. So the second I think Moogle Charm goes and gets that Moon Pearl and the lamp, and the Asteroid, of course, I think Moogle Charm is going to dart for Aga. I don't think Moogle Charm does Saha, Eastern, nothing like that.
Mushroom find an Ice Rod Cave.
Patch quest you don't want to see right now.
No, I mean, you've got way too many things on the docket beforehand.
So Rick's a little short for Zora, so I'm going to farm up a few rupees here at 20 rupee cave. Good heads up knowledge. The downside of what Rick is doing right now is that he currently does not have anything beyond Zora money, so Odd is going to be out of play for a bit until he gets more money.
There's Quake for Moogle Charm as well as Blue Mail, and there's the cave. While Rick heading for he just executes fake flippers, Island says, "There's your hammer."
Okay, so flippers in the mirror, not very too deep, I think.
Well, neither of them is going to be here. At least I think not.
No, you're alright. Logically, no. Well, mirror could be there, but then you know flippers are available, I guess.
At the same time, I mean, Blue Boomerang. Do you complain too much about that?
Nah, good stun's a good stun.
There's another heart container for Moogle Charm. Up to 7 hearts already. Pretty healthy at this point in the match.
So this could be an advantage for Rick, though, if there is something here or at Zora. I could see Moogle Charm putting that off quite a ways, because you got a glove, you got a hook shot. You know Agath is a thing when he goes south. So you're thinking West Dark World, you're not really thinking what Rick is doing right now.
And yet, 1 1/4 hearts. Again, Rick not really catching much of an advantage there.
Google set up a water rock going for flipper checks as well. Oh, nice, Red gave first. Alright, well Rick's not in trouble yet, but he's got to check Lumberjack soon. I'm sorry, go ahead.
And Local Charm about to get that mushroom while Rick finds out he just spent 500 rupees on a heart container. I've seen worse. So here's Rick doing his own sudden sweep.
And Moogle about to get his care package to Aga. And I don't see him doing anything else before rushing that.
Likely right there. Question is, does Moogle Charm head for the Zora checks before heading to Castle Tower?
Apparently, yes.
Adirondack Rick, meanwhile, with that good old DP Ledge Recon. Not much to write home about there.
So I could see Rick at this point going for the mountain and stopping by Lumberjack to check that.
That's really the only thing that's separating our two runners right now.
Yeah, mainly knowledge. Oh, but he starts at his house. I think he's going for the Saha play. Or not. Oh, he's turning in that mushroom.
Again, that's early spheres. Surprising a little bit, but I still can't argue.
Exactly. I think this is fortunate for Rick, unless there is a hammer or another glove in Eastern Saha that he goes for first. It looks like the game is just kind of forcing you into Aga pretty early.
See, mushroom 4, ether.
That's a solid find right there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long Moogle Charm puts off that mushroom.
And Rick going for Saha Eastern area.
That's 6 checks. I can't blame him. And potentially green pendant knowledge as well. Something we don't have.
Rick just has to hope there's no progression over here. You get a glove, you get something like that. You know the hammer's not going to be here, but if you get a glove, that opens a lot of Dark World.
Nothing. Doesn't bother for the information either, as Moogle Charm picks up his heart container for 500 rupees. Probably not too pleased there either.
Well, a refill means one thing. It's Aga time.
Charm going to be first to Castle Tower at about, I would say, 1830, 1840.
Sounds about right. I don't think Rick will be too far behind, but I'm sure after Eastern, assuming there's nothing here, probably going to go check Aga, or check Castle Tower, gosh darn it, check Lumberjack is what I meant. And then probably climb the mountain to see if there's anything up there. That's probably up Aga Tower a couple minutes later than Moogle Charm.
So 1825 for Moogle Charm into Castle Tower. Meanwhile, 20 rupees are our first find in Eastern Palace. Unfortunately, this is Casual Boots. Castle Tower is empty. The only thing you want is the evil wizard at the top of the tower.
I believe this is Sea of Stars.
That it is. Oh, and there's a bottle for Rick here as a second item.
Well, yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, it's one more reason to go towards checking Lumberjack, I guess.
I mean, Sick Kid's open now. Wonder what he's hiding under his bed this time.
Rick on to his last check. Meanwhile, Moogle Charm is about 2/3 the way up back at tower right now.
Now, what would you want Sick Kid to have at this point?
If I am Rick, I want him to have absolutely nothing. Because again, if he gives you the Titan's Myths, you're right next to Dark World, you have no reason to check Lumberjack, and you are off to the races and doing a lot of other things before. Meanwhile, Moogle Charm is going to just get a bigger lead over Rick with getting that hook shot. So if you're Moogle Charm, you want something to be there because you're going to find another bottle. You're going to get that progression. That's pretty much it at this point, I guess, yeah.
Third item in Eastern Palace is 50 rupees, and it's showtime. Moogle Charm versus Aga 1.
We forgot to play the blue ball game. We'll find out how many we are getting, though.
If you're a runner like me, you're guessing probably around 7.
If you're SpeedGaming chat, 12. Already getting 2, I think.
Sick Kid check for Rick, 50 rupees.
Okay, now Rick is literally down logically to 2 checks on Death Mountain and Lumberjack and beating Aga, so let's see what he does.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't check Lumberjack at this point.
And is doing it.
There is the takedown, 22-13. And 22-18 for the Empress of Dark World for Moogle Charm. Rick finding out the bad news about Castle Tower.
At about the same time. Okay, yeah, it doesn't even look like Rick's gonna climb the mat at this point. He's just going for Castle Tower.
Honestly, who can blame him? There's the hook shot. There's a shiny thing on my Lumberjack ledge. I want it, and I want it yesterday.
Yeah, all you know is you're like, well, if Moogle scouted that early, that's bad. Because I just went over to Saha, cleared that, went over to Eastern, cleared that, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I had that coverage as soon as I went to South Shore.
On the flip side, Eastern Palace is a crystal. Rick is going to be back there. Moogle Charm will have to be back there, and Rick can just zoom straight to Armless Knights and get the knockout.
That is very true.
Meanwhile, hookshot collected for Moogle Charm.
Let's see, I bet East Death Mountain's probably in the next play. Expecting to find a mirror flippers over there, likely. 8 items coming up from Moogle Charm. Moogle does know there's no way for him to get to Tower of Hero from this direction, because you know where the hammer is. But if you get the mitts, that'll be an additional 6 checks.
Meanwhile, here's Moogle opening up the shop in Paradox Cave to get a new supply of bombs.
Yeah, very heads-up play, down to 1 bomb. So you have enough to get your bomb jump across, but if you fail it, suddenly you're having to run around. So good call.
Yep. Triple bomb and 50 rupees in the basement. Nothing to write home about. I was about to say the Paradox Cave continues to see its generous tendency on the essentials until that last check.
Okay, that out of logic, but that does unlock our hammer as well if Moogle Charm wants to do it.
We're not quite done with Eastern that mountain yet. Moogle Charm opting not to go. Well, you can't check Turtle Rock Recon from there anyway, so I'm getting ahead of myself.
Easy to do so, my friend.
Well, Adirondack Rick taking on Aga 1. Spiral Cave pays big with that flute.
That is nice. From this direction, you're probably going Dark World. You're going to run northeast. You are going to probably go around and eventually be able to mirror to activate your flute from Thieves Town area.
True. I'm part of me is wondering why you. Well, true that the Dark World entrance on Kakariko Village is a little bit more time consuming than the one in Castle Towers, so that would probably be why.
Okay, I think I saw a green pendant at Pod and then a regular pendant at Meyer. I did not catch your other 5-6 though. It looks like it's Skull Woods. Matt Ewok Herd caught that.
And chat and mentioning TR as well. Oof.
Oh, I thought I saw it was Skull. Okay, so it's Eastern and TR for our 5-6s. Got you.
Okay, so Adirondack Rick now in the Dark World, about 5 minutes behind Moogle Charm as far as Dark World access goes. So Moogle Charm offers a rock to the catfish. What's the trade for? Heart container, and Moogle Charm says no thank you.
Moving on.
Hookshot meanwhile for Adirondack Rick. Apologize
Yes.
on a beam.
Oh, you're good, my friend. But Moogle Charm did route in Death Mountain first, so it does get that mirror to make these checks a lot more convenient. Oh, looks like Rick is going to play the immediate Dark World. He's going to skip the mountain for now, missing out on that mirror and the flute.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's not what you want to see on under King's Tomb there. That's a shovel.
I mean, I guess it could be worse. You're gonna run in Stumpy eventually, so you can mirror, but
Meanwhile, Rick opting not to even look at Catfish, which turns out to be the right call. Graveyard Ledge only has a heart piece.
So this isn't too bad for Rick. If he does end up finding mitts down here somewhere, that's good.
Rick going to check Bumper Cave Recon meanwhile. What do we got here? The net.
Oh,
Uh,
nobody's ever getting that. That's a shame.
nah, not today. But here's a very interesting play here from Rick. Skull Woods is not what I pegged his first dungeon visited.
Well, gotta consider Skullwood's a little bit of an overworld check on this. The dungeon is readily accessible from most areas of Dark World, so you know the game can place a lot of things here on the 2 available items. You don't check it, you skip it, it's your fire rod, you check it early and it's a big $5 and a heart piece or something.
Well, there's our first item. Moogle Charm finds triple bombs. And there's our second one. This Skull Woods is just
Pretty explosive.
yeah, that's the nice way to put it.
But it's one of the quickest Skullwoods you can opt for. No longer have to check anything in that dungeon if you're a Moogle Charm.
Well, you still need to go back here later once you got Fire Rod, but other than that, we're done.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Despite being 5 minutes behind when it came to entering Dark World, Rick's starting to make up a bit of time.
He is. The only questionable thing right now is the Mirror of the Flute and that shovel.
That shovel's the big question right now. Chest on the game says heart piece. Nothing to write home about again. Charm hadn't done sit kit before, finds out there's a month's allowance in there.
But heads up play from Moogle Charm remembers to activate that flute. Well done. If he portaled at the right spot, I guess.
Portal at the right spot, the wrong spot. It's only about a 3-second delay. Either way, we have a bird.
There's one item out of Thieves Town, a big 20.
There's the big key that is forced into one of the front 4 chests.
Ten arrows, item number 2, not too exciting. Item 3, oh my gosh, just heart container. Or heart piece, I should say so. Okay, Rick's gonna continue.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from clearing Thieves Town. And it's a crystal.
It's true. And you could get your 4th item before the boss, so... I mean, you know where the hammer is. It's technically locked by your mirror and flippers, logically, but these runners we'll know when to sync, let's break that hammer and can get it at any point, especially for Mogul Charm with that mirror.
Conveyor belt room not friendly to Rick. Struggled a bit with that anti-fairy. Is the fourth item here? It is. It's a sanctuary heart.
It's not bad. And you're not going to have to return to Thieves Town ever, so that's a good thing for both the runners. And we find out our stun prize is 5 arrows. Thanks, game.
I mean, if you're a fan of wood, then sure.
And for all the bows we're finding.
Yeah, wherever those are.
We do have another check coming up for Moogle Charm at K45, if that is something. Good for Moogle Charm, not good for Rick.
He's been very kind as far as essentials go. Meanwhile, here are your blind fights.
Both runners getting off script.
A little bit more of a struggle for Moogle Charm, but boat runners through it. No problem. First crystals collected for boat runners.
Another big 20.
Now here's the big question for our runners here. Rick's got 1 check. Moogle Charm's got 3. The lead could really expand quickly. If Moogle Charm finds anything in the 2 checks, Rick's not going to have access to.
Yeah, I think, Oh, plus there's Hype Gate. We haven't seen that gate, too.
Boat runners have access to that, and there's the Titan's mitts!
Good for Rick. Gets to go up the mountain as soon as he wants to and go ahead and clear both light and dark. Good get flippers.
That's... Honestly, that might be an advantage for Rick more than Moogle Charm. Rick can clear both sides of the mountain in one swing.
Oh, but here's an advantage for Moogle Charm. Does have that mirror. Gonna go and check the Smith.
Indeed. Meanwhile, Rick's going to have to do the what I refer to as the backwater way if he wants to finish it up. Oh goodness, Stumpy, what are you doing? Smith Chain Part 1. Nothing to write home about. Just a heart piece.
Just a quick reminder before we get to more checks, don't forget to give these runners a follow. Links are in chat. You're doing a great job. While you're at it, give my co-com a follow, Moonrise and Phoenix, and plus we've got Maddie Walk Herd as well. Please give them all a follow.
And can't go without mentioning to perhaps give my own co-commentator Lana Bean a follow as well. Meanwhile, we've got Flippers in Hype Cave.
And for Moogle Charm, that will be the hammer, logically.
Now, here's the question: do you keep going on the Smith chain if you're Rick, knowing the mountain with its 20-some checks is right there?
Probably not. I think you just save and quit and climb the mountain.
Also, the shovel check was made. It was just another red rupee.
And Moogle gonna go ahead and check Head K before turning in purple chest.
Oh goodness, Rick's going to go check King's Tomb beforehand, and probably not going to like what he sees.
Can you dig it? Okay, if you're Moogle Charm, this unlocks Swamp Palace once you go get that hammer.
It does.
Well, technically you can do Swamp Palace right now, actually, because this tournament does allow a Spike Eclipse, so I don't think he's going to wait on Swamp. I think he's just going in.
Smith chain really not paying off. Meanwhile, Adirondack Rick heading for the mountain, going to pull it off all in one swing. It's a bad start to the mountain, Rick, but the shinies are coming. Meanwhile, we have Swamp Palace starting off for Moogle Charm. I believe there's 5 checks in here as well, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that 6? It's 6. Thank you, Maddie Orherd. Always confused with the pot keys and such.
My brain wanted to go straight to cross keys, which is 10, but then my other part of my brain was like, no, that's not right. This is casual boots.
Got a spiky clip from Moogle Charm, no problem.
I think that's kind of like the everybody clip of Zelda 3 now.
I've seen quite a few runners pull it off with no problem. Should see Diver. No, Diver down not in logic yet. No cane, no red cane. Meanwhile, Rick says bomb jump, no problem.
Ooh, Rick's not going to be disappointed with this. Anybody who knows Rick knows that he's not a big fan of this check. But in this particular case, I think he wants it.
Yeah, there's a little something about Rick and Spiral Cave, but that flute going to dispel quite a bit.
It does unlock Desert Palace, Mire area, and possibly even Mire entrance, if not likely. It's a pendant though, so do you really want to go in? Probably not.
With 2 checks in Mire, no, thank you. Here is a series of checks that Moogle Charm has not made yet. There's the big key, and what else we got in the back of Swamp? Literacy.
Yikes. Do you want to see it? You're near Bombas Tablet, I guess.
No kidding. That is not a to mention it. I'm not sure Moogle Charm's too happy to see it. Rick is going to be absolutely ecstatic at that red cane, however.
Okay, we could very well be a bow and a fire up and go mode at this point.
Turtle Rock Recon for Adirondack Rick. We need. That is Quake.
We got that. Yes, we can.
Well, we. Oh, great. The validation arrow for the Arrow of Destiny, as I've heard it called, for Moogle Charm. I have a less savory nickname that I will not say because some people here at SpeedGaming would be upset at me if I did.
I fully agree with you, whatever it may be.
Bomb diver down from Moogle Charm finds Bombos.
Okay, that's Ice Palace, so that's a good find. So if you're Moogle Charm, you probably do Bombos Tablet, and then you do, you got your hammer, you go right into Ice Palace.
Oh, wait a minute. Rick's going straight for the hammer right now. He says, I need this thing to help me explore the dark world and bash people upside the head with it, I suppose.
And Rick gonna go right into Swamp Palace as well.
Argus down for Moogle Charm. What's he dropping? He's dropping red mail. Moogle Charm takes the lead, 2 crystals to 1. Question in chat. What was on Bombos? Moogle Charm just picked it up. I would assume he's going to take a look at what's there very shortly. Actually, oh, you're speaking of Bombos tablet. We're heading to check that now. My apologies. Answer is more generosity from the seed.
Ooh, Moogle Charm not going for ice. Maybe open to pull a Smarty out of here, but does have a... Oh, okay, yeah, you're in the Pendant Mire Desert area. So maybe hoping to pull a Samari out of here. We know that is on Dark Death Mountain, though.
Spiky kill up attempt for Adirondack Rick. Shows us how it's done. I swear, runners are making this clip look so easy. Checkerboard Cave for Moogle Charm sees a shield, says, I don't want that piece of metal.
Proud of you, Moogle Charm.
Not a fan of shields?
Never.
I see it as laser bridge prep.
I see it as blocking the entirety of the sprite that people work so hard to do. Oh, did Moogle not scout that?
Well, he sees it. He's seen it now.
I gotta think from that reaction, Moogle Charm didn't know that was there.
That might be. That's gonna be interesting.
I mean, it didn't cost him too much time, but that would explain why he didn't go there after Bombo's tablet. Very heads-up play. Gonna go ahead and take the portal here down to, well, Dark Shopping Mall region.
You're absolutely right. I was wondering why he was going up here. I was thinking he was heading for Cactus for some reason, but no. There's that hammer.
Still no Ice Palace, though. I think he was thinking about doing the hammer bags, but now he's changed his mind.
He's heading up to the mountain. He'll find Red Cane here.
First, he has got to get by the Dead Rocks.
Oh goodness! Everybody's most hated enemy. That one I start thinking. But here's the more standard diver down from Adirondack Rick. Going to find Bombos. Quite frankly, other than the crystal, that's about the only thing you found here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it's pretty empty.
I mean, you take the crystal and you need that thing, but still.
Gonna get a new check, Ether Tablet, and also Tower of Hera.
Sea generosity on the tablets. 350 rupees there. Tower of Hera, 2 checks. Should be a very quick one if Moogle Charm knows Hera Pot, which I have absolutely no doubt he does.
Practically first try.
I don't know about you, but I'm definitely not arguing about that.
Not at all. Hey, there's progression.
Go
ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry about that.
No, you go right ahead. You're good.
That's a bow and arrow for Moogle Charm and crystal number 2 for Adirondack Rick. Ties up the match. Meanwhile, we're playing the lottery on Moogle Charm's side.
And Rick's going straight for Ice Palace. Got that Samaria. And there's the second item out of Hera, just $50 more, so that's a clearable rest of the Eastern, and Moogle Charm has not touched it yet.
A little bit of overkill on that Iceman, and we are into Ice Palace for Adirondack Rick.
And we're going to open up Turtle Rock, and we're going to find that immediate Samaria. The big question is, does Moogle Charm go into TR to find out if he's immediately like that, or goes further?
For those of you just joining us, Kane of Samaria was in Super Bunny Cave. Meanwhile, Rick's setting up for the Switch Crystal Icebreaker. Shouldn't have any problem pulling this off. Hey, Bean, how you feel about that find?
Never going to turn down an extra sword. I do love it. It's not required, but I'll take it more than half magic or even slivers.
I mean, right there, Rick finds out that. Oh, yeah, now you won't be happy about that one.
Evil.
To me, I see tempered as, oh, cool. I don't have to suffer the headache that is Master Sword Ganon.
Not wrong at all.
Rick's saying, I'm done with Ice Palace. I'm going down there. I'm going to knock out Cold Stare, and we are done.
So Pod is a interesting play right now, I think. You're at the point in the game that you don't have all that many good checks right now. So you start kind of creeping a little bit more towards Pedestal. So you're like, okay, let's go to Pod after Eastern. Go ahead and get that cleared out, see if we find anything. If nothing else, Green Pendant. Desert's a quick clear. Mire's not great, but still clearable pretty quickly.
Yeah, you're looking at it via Moogle Charm's perspective. Meanwhile, Rick does still need to clear Hera.
Yeah. Gotta get that bow.
Unless Cold Stare's holding something, but I think we found all 3 items in here. That's just the key. Adirondack Rick now with the crystal lead, 3 crystals to 2. I mean, you can't argue with one shield, right? You want to block some hits.
Nah, get rid of them all.
My apologies, chat. It is 3-all. You are correct. I'm getting way too ahead of myself.
Now they're going to be tied up here again pretty quick. Rick is rushing towards Tower of Hera.
This is turning out to be quite an even match. We had this 5-minute discrepancy between Dark World access, but I can't see Hera taking that long to clear for Rick either.
Rick's been able to skip a lot of the mirror checks that Muggletron's been doing, and apparently we missed it, but Muggletron didn't actually scout that hammer, so it actually gave Rick a little bit of time back there, too. And Muggletron, with a slight routing issue, did not hit the switch early, so did have to go searching for that big key, which unfortunately for him ended up being at Ice-T.
A little trouble with Hera Pot for Rick, but still not enough to really impact it. Moogle Charm, meanwhile, Cold Stare incoming.
Second item at a Tower of Hera, Rick is going for Troll Dorm, and Moogle Charm with the takedown of Cold Stare.
Oh, meanwhile, that's a bit of an execution mistake there by Rick.
Rick, that there is a hole.
And almost fell through again, but this time stops himself, and now we played a lottery.
Alright, right after Moogle Trim picks up Crystal number 4, as does Redneck Rick taking down Troll Dorm. And looks like Moogle Trim's going for the Pod Eastern combo, probably Eastern first. But if you really don't find anything in Eastern, which we know there's nothing so far, Pod is an easy next play.
Kiki, absolutely not going to be any problem. Meanwhile, Rick says, what if Spike Cave's hiding something?
If it's got one of our much needed items, this could be a very good thing for Rick.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Sahasrara's Cave giving absolutely nothing. Spike Cave says,
Not to be outdone, Spike Cave gives absolute garbage.
No problem with Kiki. Pays off the 110 rupee bounty and heads in the pod. Or makes an absolute liar out of me and heads in the Eastern instead.
Well, this is what you were talking about earlier. We're going to get Moogle Charm having to go through Eastern, get all the clears, you're not in go mode, and meanwhile Rick going to be able to go straight for Almost Nights. I don't remember. Did we pick up all 3 items out of Eastern or 2 out of 3? Well, we'll find out.
However, Molcharm does need to go down to the big key chest. Adirondack Rick, meanwhile, heading up. He is done and will take a slim lead. Goodness. You know when we said Truckers were the MVP? Matty Wartward absolutely putting one more truth to it. Goodness. Thank you so much for keeping track.
You are the MVP, thank you.
One cycle with a little bit of swag for Adirondack Rick. He's first against the Armless Knights at 1 hour, 3 minutes, and 15 seconds. 18 for 18, no problem. Rick's done in Eastern.
Into Palace of Darkness we go. Our first pendant dungeon we're dipping.
I mean, it's Pod. I don't blame Rick in the slightest here.
Not at all.
Charm, meanwhile, against the Yarmos Knights. Just as clean. Less than a minute separating our two runners. We're heading into the later stages of this race. Is Moogle Charm heading to Pod? I would not be surprised in the slightest.
I gotta presume so. Moogle has a few more clears overworld-wise than Rick, so even more incentive to go ahead and go in. Okay, time to get into the meat and potatoes of Pod. It's called the Mullet Dungeon for a reason. Party up front with all the keys. Or I should say, business up front with all the keys, party in the back with all the items.
Can't argue with that nickname at all. There's the big key for Rick. Forgetting to flip the switch there. Oh, that is an interesting clip there. Can you explain that one, Wannabe?
Absolutely. That is it's the, I think it's called several things, but it's basically what's called a stair extension. You drop your Samaria, and essentially if you're near a ledge and dash up, evil shield, you end up being able to clip through the switches. It's basic, but it's called stair extension, and it's kind of cool where you can just clip beyond one of the rails or beyond the switch.
That was literally the first time I've ever seen it. That was quite interesting. Thank you for that, though. Wow.
It's not a huge time save, but it's fancy, and it saves 5 or 6 seconds, I think.
Saved about 5, 6. I'd say even 8 seconds if goodness. Well, that's all the shields we're seeing in this seed.
Thank goodness.
Both runners are a pretty even loadout right now. This race may come down to execution from here.
Yeah, all we're looking for is a fire rod, and they're on the same pace to get it at almost the same time, wherever it is.
That'll run at Rick's lead about 50 seconds right now.
And ultimately, it could come down to a gamble with pendant dungeons and Ped. or Rick deciding to go ahead and clean up the rest of the overworld that Moogle's already done with the mirror. And Rick also has not done purple chest, I believe, so hammer pegs is always an option as well. So Rick might not go into the pendant dungeons further as fast as Moogle Charm does.
Helmet Sword King down for Adirondack Rick. 10 arrows, not what he wants to see. There's the pendant pickup.
Good fights in both runners.
Absolutely, and Moogle Charm with a bit more speed thanks to the faster bomb route. Now they're just giving us a heart piece, and Rick's out of there.
That's right. Rick only got his flute relatively recently. I don't think he's actually activated it yet.
He has not. He's had it activated now, I would imagine. So now with Kane in the bag, does he head for Meyer?
If you're Moogle Charm, probably. If you're Rick, you probably finish up Smith Chain and Purple Chest. And if it ends up being in Hammer Pegs, could give Rick the advantage. But if it ends up being a Pendant Dungeon, it depends on how quickly Moogle goes for a Desert Mire, which doesn't look like now, so maybe Moogle Charm does go Hammer Pegs as well. Oh, Moogle's going for the ped read. I got that. Okay.
Yep, that's what I was figuring out. I was like, at this stage, you don't forget you have Titans, man. So here comes the big piece of info for the seed. Oh no!
This is Agaped. Oh gosh. Moogle Charm with a big advantage at this point.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Okay, so Rick's going to continue to clear and do a bunch of Mire, maybe even Desert, but he's going to do it slower than Moogle's going to do it with that knowledge of that Fire Rod on ped.
Absolutely. Oh boy, there's that. Thank you, Rick.
I appreciate that, Rick. You know who's commentating.
Hammer Peg's coming up next, I would imagine. Or is this a ped read for Rick? It is a ped read.
Okay, this is
Oh
big.
goodness, this is going to put Moogle Charm at about, I would say, the same 45-second. It comes down.
Maybe a minute, yeah. Minute lead, give or take, for Moogle Charm. Maybe a minute and a half.
But again, this is all about execution. And if I'm the runners right now, knowing this is an all dungeon seed, that just doesn't make me happy.
Pretty sure I just heard Rick yell something from the East Coast to my West Coast here. I think I heard something.
You would probably be correct there.
And Rick going for Desert before Mire.
How do you feel about that play?
I like Mire first because it's fewer transitions. You're opening up the dungeon, you're beating it, you're going to Light World, you're beating Desert, and then immediately fluting. Otherwise, you're going to Desert, you're mirroring, you're going to Mire, you're mirroring, and then fluting. So it's a little bit of an extra transition to start Light World, but not a huge thing.
There's a big key, Rick, out of there.
What the runners do feel a bit bad about is that they know they had the chance to reap head before even going in a pod, and it was an early big key, so You could have go-moded pod, basically. Well, I guess the big Q is in the back.
There's the big key of Maya from Moogle Charm. He'll be heading the Flights of Vitreous. Fairly shortly, at least.
And you can thank Homemade Beer for rolling this for these two runners, I believe. Well done, Beer.
I think we're going to be hearing a few words about that once we're done here. Good 2-cycle land molecule for Adirondack Rick. Gets a compass. Gets the pendant nobody wants. And he's out of there.
But the pendant they both need.
I swear that hurts my soul just to think about.
It is rough.
Misery Mire Big Key was the one under the switch.
I think it's called the lobby chest.
Seems about right looking at chat's answer.
It's a good question. I'm pretty sure Moogle just hit the switch and went right, but even if he went left for the firelock, he did not do cutscene.
He did not do the higher level chest. I can tell you that much right now.
I mean, at least they can go to Dark World, mirror at the back of Skullwoods, get the pedestal read, be at the back of Skullwoods, and open up Skull, I guess. If that's silver lining, I guess.
So let's see the route taken by Rick here in Mire.
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go first, my friend.
I was about to say that Moogle Charm had the exact same routing as Adirondack Rick there.
Oh, Rick's skipping left side, saving a bit of time. He's still going to have a bit of a hole to climb out of to catch up to Moogle Charm, but it could just come down to GT routing.
Absolutely. That was about, I would say, 10 seconds save there. Here comes Moldorm, land mole fight for Moogle Charm. Rick had a 2-cycle. I would assume Moogle Charm has near that as well.
We'll time this at Moogle Charm's pickup here. But again, Moogle Charm is not going to have to mirror to get back. Meanwhile, Rick will have to, so that's a little time lost.
2-cycle.
Right. 2-cycle, pretty good. Pendant pickup at 118.15.
I believe you're just about right when you said 1 minute of a lead.
Pretty close to Moogle getting an unfortunate skull under the bush there. Ooh, Rick getting close to a 1 cycle, not quite though.
$1:19.18 for the pendant pickup for Adirondack Rick. That is a 58-second lead.
With the mirror items, add another 7 seconds left. Sorry, you're talking about a 1:15, give or take. Oh, Moogle losing some of that time. The mirror's a little bit. Oh no! Oh, he's fine. Okay, got it. Okay. Moogle almost mirrored too low to get back to the light world, so lost some time, but close. I think we'll have to retime this at the pickup for the fire rod. What do you think?
Could be a plan.
Oh my gosh! The fire rod! Sorry, go ahead.
1:20.12 for Moogle Charm.
Close to bonking again. Didn't get it though, so well done. That's technically go mode, of course, for Moogle Charm. With that fire rod pickup. Misses the key, a little bit more time lost.
And Rick picks up 2 seconds on Moogle Charm from the fire rod pickup.
Ooh, bad luck with the moth script here. That's not really a script, but the moth RNG. Gets him pretty quickly though, well done. Final pendant pickup.
Butterfree just giving us a compass today.
Crystal pickup, 121.34. Oh yeah, we should play a little game here. What do you think?
A little game you mentioned.
Absolutely. Everybody, you know the rules. We're going to be heading up to Ganon's Tower. It's going to be 22 checks that we can try and find the big key. Oh, we got Turtle Rock. Never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like,
My bad.
we've still got a crystal dungeon to take
Forgot
care
about that
of.
fire rod. Never mind. My bad. Reset your check. Reset your guess. It's fine. We'll start it shortly before Trinex.
Sounds good. Butterfree being a little bit more cooperative towards Rick. $122.28.
It is a rough seed. Holy moly. Most people are hoping to be done close to 120-ish. Let alone still have a whole nother crystal dungeon plus GT to climb and beat. We'll retime it a bit at the entry to TR. I don't think Rick has opened it yet, but 123.07.
Oh, good. This chat wanting GT Big Key on Tile Room. That's ouch. there are the silvers and the big key for Moogle Charm. What more do you want?
Not much more. It's a pretty good find there. And Rick, yeah, confirmed, has not opened up Turtle Rock, has a few issues with the peg. He's going to lose a little bit of time here, plus have an open TR.
I believe if the Beats from the East win this match, they'd tie up the Bomb Squad at the top of the division, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're right. Bomb Squad is currently 3-0, Beats in the East 2-1. You see the points down near the bottom portion of the screen. Bomb Squad with the 9 points, Beats in the East with 6. So if Moogle continues this pace, it'll be a tie atop their division.
Chat mentioning that the lead has now expanded to 1 minute 13 seconds. At this point, it really does become a 1, the GT routing decision, and 2, execution. There's a mutter load for Rick. He is saying, I am done looking through everything. I just want to kill a dragon.
It looks like Moogle Charm was pondering for a second whether to go for that big chest, maybe open for an extra key. If you do find a small key there, and there's not one, which there wouldn't be then at Double Firebar, that's a time save. We'll see what happens though, because if he does get the small key right here, gonna save a few seconds. Oh, gonna have to go looking on Laser Bridge for that key.
Not there, and Rick goes to look on that big chest, that couldn't flip the lead on the scene.
Well, I believe they didn't open Lava Chest, so there has to be a small key at Lava Chest or a big chest. One of the two at minimum, and then probably one in Laser Bridge here.
Rick not looking at Lava Chest either. A compass. Magic powder. Nice comfort item. The map is there. And there's the key at the back end. I believe now's a good time to start looking at that GT guessing game there, Lunaby.
I think you are absolutely right, everybody. Now that we're not, doing it a little early, go ahead and get your guesses in chat. Going to be a quick fight at Trinex. 1 to 22. Where is that darn big key? Feel free to guess a location if you prefer. That is certainly fine too. But what do you think, Moonrisen? What's your choice?
I'm gonna go with the Firebar chests out of the left side big 4. I'm gonna go for around number 8. But that's my own route, and well, there's the quick double head kill for Moogle Charm, looking good heading into head number 3.
Beautiful, well done.
Couldn't have done it any better. $20 rubies from Trinex, come on.
Okay, chat. Yeah, about 45 seconds to get your guesses into chat. 1 to 22. Where's that darn big key?
Oh, a couple of struggles here for Rick on the Laser Bridge. Won't hurt him too badly, but will cost him a few seconds. right now, this stage of the seed, a few seconds may be the difference.
Could be. These are two very good runners.
Local Charm first into GT at 1 hour, 29 minutes, and 3 seconds. Standard key on the torch.
We're going to go Staphos right, or perhaps Rando Rush, or straight left towards Ice Armos.
Meanwhile, Rick's fight against Trinex, no problem through 2 heads. Makes that dragon look absolutely silly.
And we are 0 for 5 in GT so far. And Rick does pick up that 7th crystal as well.
Hope room check for Moogle Charm.
Check 6 and 7.
Standard key and a compass. Nothing doing. Looking like about a minute 5, a minute 10 lead for Moogle Charm heading into GT.
There it is. We got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Check number 8.
Not exactly the route I would have taken to number 8, but Moogle Charm first at a climb, and right now, if you're at around that Rick, time's running low.
And Muscle Shots TPT. GGC, you got the guessing game right in the nose. Well done.
However, Rick taking the full right approach, which is the correct play, he will get the he will cut into that lead. But is it too little too late?
Does need an extra key here, though.
You're absolutely right.
No extra key. Gonna have to get the one under the pot.
Goodness knows I've run into that problem way too often. The old, hey, I got the big key, I'm clear. Oh, wait a minute, I'm still missing a key. I need to climb the tower twice. Oh, absolutely no problem for Moogle Charm. He's out of there. 132.12. Those of you cheering for the Beast from the East, it's looking pretty good for Moogle Charm right now as Rick enters the gauntlet. 40 seconds behind the time Moogle Charm took to clear it. But for those of you who are fans of the Bomb Squad, don't despair quite yet. Ganon can be cruel from time to time. And then there's Moldorm 2 or Aga 2 that can turn the tables as well.
Also true.
Adirondack Rick out of the gauntlet at 1:33.26, which is a minute 14 behind Moogle Charm.
Clean land mode 2. And clean Troll Derm too.
No problem for Mogul Charm. He is 2 hurdles away from bringing the beats from the east to 3-1.
And a vanilla big 20 from Moldorm 2 chest.
Some agonometry, as I've heard it called now from Mogul Charm. Four cycle, 1 hurdle left for Mogul Charm, and there he is.
Meanwhile, Rick is 2 rooms away from Moldorm, 1 room now. Oh, Moldorm doing the thing we were talking about.
Yep. That's Trolldorm being Trolldorm. Meanwhile, Mogul Charm at 1 hour, 35 minutes, and 15 seconds. We've got a cannon sighting.
It was Ganon the whole time. I know, Chad. Don't gasp too much.
Phase 1 down without a problem. Break done with Moldorm 2, heading for Agate 2. Oh, goodness. Not a single hit from Mogul Charm. He is. So far, so good. 2 phases left.
Meanwhile, hot on his tail, Adirondack Rick is finishing up Agate 2.
It's down to this. 4 silver arrows again, and that'll do it. 2, 3, almost. 1 more. Got him.
You know the drill, everybody. Get your GGs in chat for Moogle Charm.
Your race winner here tonight with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 35 seconds. The Beats from the East will take the match and split the series with the Bomb Squad. Both teams are going to end week 2 at 3 wins and 1 loss.
Well done to both teams. This was a well-fought race here. Just came down to a couple extra things Rick ended up doing before checking pedestal. And it looks like we are joined by today's race winner, Moogle Charm. GG's to you.
GG's.
So how you feeling?
It's pretty good. Yeah, the seed was a pile of garbage. I'm a little surprised at how close it was, only because I felt really good after doing that for check. I hadn't really double dipped dungeons. I avoided all the fire desert stuff. So big ups to Rick for keeping it close.
Quickly here, Moonrise and Phoenix, you were about to say, go ahead.
Absolutely. Get your GGs out in chat for Adirondack Rick finishing second with an official racetime.gg time of 1 hour, 38 minutes, and 16 seconds. Your margin of victory here tonight. 1 minute, 41 seconds.
Darn close race all around. You both were just neck and neck for a good portion of the race. You had a little bit more overboard clearing early, which did net you the mirror and the loot. We'll get more to that in just a moment. Looks like Rick will be joining us here in just a second. But you did have a bit more overworld clearing that paid off. Rick, meanwhile, decided to probably felt a little behind going to Eastern and saw before going to check Lumberjack. It was a little bit of a late check. So had that hookshot knowledge a little bit later than you.
Yeah.
And we're also joined by Adirondack Rick. GG's to you.
Yep, and GG's to you, Moogle Charm. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. GG's, Rick.
So this was a darn close race all around. First, Moogle Charm looked to be having the lead with the earlier scouting of Lumberjack and the Death Mountain play to get the mirror and the flute. But Rick, you ended up making some skips later on, not doing the mat until you had mitts, keeping it super close. And what it ended up coming down to is, weirdly, oddly enough, just going to the mire area before going and scouting Pedestal, which Moogle Charm did just a minute before you did.
Makes sense. I should have checked it before going over to the area, but I was like, maybe the fireworks over here in the mire shed area. And, you know, that's just one of those cases of you do and you don't, and I didn't until it's like, okay, now we got to check the pedestal, see if I need to do these dungeons, which, of course, creates a second flute back and transitions and whatnot.
Yeah, a little extra screen transitioning going on there. But really, I think when it came down to pod, I believe, what did we have them time down? Moogle. Goodness gracious. Moonrise and Phoenix, we had, what, about a 45-second lead for Rick at the end of pod, wasn't it?
Yeah, I believe you're just about right on those numbers.
But, oh my gosh, this race was so close most of the way. Rick, you just ended up scouting Lumberjack later than Moogle Charm, but we were saying before you got in here that you ended up just, after getting Aga done, getting your hookshot, choosing to go straight to North Dark World instead of Death Mountain. Did you feel a little bit behind at that point?
I felt behind, especially considering the fact that the hookshot's there, and anyone who listened to the conversation yesterday when Moogle and I were on commentary together, I knew Moogle Charm had that scouted out really early, that hookshot, so I felt like, oh gosh, I'm behind, especially considering the fact that I had to stomach an Eastern Palace play that wound up coming up empty, except for that bottle.
Yeah, that Eastern dip was a little bit rough. You were going through that, and we were watching, I believe, Moogle climb Aga Tower at the time, going, oh, how long will it be until Rick scouts that? And it'll be like, well, there's not a whole lot to do after Eastern, so you're going to probably scout that just before climbing the mountain. And you just avoided the mountain completely until, like, as soon as you saw that hookshot, I think you saved and quit, just climbed the tower.
Yeah, it's like, why bother? Because I'm going to be walking right by here again as it is to get this hook shot. So it's like, let's just go climb this tower. Let's go take care of business. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's go to the west side of the Dark World. Maybe this hook shot isn't to get to the other side of the mountain. I have a feeling that's what Moogle Charm's doing, since they had this information well before I did. And I'm like, okay, we need to find something over here that kind of gives me an advantage. Maybe I can get to that hammer sooner. Maybe I can actually be able to... Maybe the seed will give me the mirrors, so that way I can set up a water dash so I can get that hammer. No, which wasn't going to do so because everything else was on the mountain, but the mitts felt nice.
Yeah, mitts were at an interesting location at that big spot. You guys probably had that very, very quickly close together, because pretty much you skipping everything after you did Aga Tower and got your hook shot. You were pretty much within a rock's throw distance of Moogle Charm. It was just up ahead, mirroring, checking Graveyard Ledge and things like that. And then you ended up skipping all that, just trying to, I think, probably play catch up.
Yeah, I had an escape plan to check all those other checks that were going on in the Dark World, but at that point, it's like, okay, what does the seed want me to do? So I fluted over after activating the flute, getting over towards the mire area, just hoping it was going to be in mire shed or in the checkerboard. And then I'm like, okay. But it's Moogle Charm's a really, really difficult opponent. I know I was going to be in for a battle for this one here, and I'm just happy that I kept it close, and I'm happy the fact that we were able to split this series. Thank you, Killer App, last night for doing that, so that way we can at least carry a 3-1 record into week 3.
Absolutely. And what kind of surprised Moonrisen and myself. It apparently, Moogle Charm, you did not scout Hylia Island, it appears.
Yeah, so I had some issues setting up that water walk for whatever reason. I don't know what I did wrong. I'm gonna have to watch the video, but like normally I would just run by right there. And when you're swimming, I don't know, like I was just kind of in my own head because I had screwed up the routing with Mini Moldorm Cave. Like I should have done that into Agina and then did the fake flipper to do Ice Rod Cave into water stuff. And like that was in my head. And I don't know, I just completely forgot about it. And like it was on my mind for a while, but getting the book out of Swamp Palace basically was like, well, I'm gonna go check Bombo's tablet now. And took me away from looking at it at that point. So after Bombos, I ended up just checking the mire shed and checkerboard and was like, well, I'm kind of down to some bad stuff. Let me just go check that island thing real quick. Make sure it's not something I need. And when it was the hammer, it was a little bit of a gut punch, but it only felt bad in the fact that like I didn't scout it early, but it didn't really cost me anything because like I still did Swamp Palace without it. Thank you, Specky Clip. And I wouldn't have it's not like I would have done the hammer pegs check because of where the hammer was anyway. So I kind of felt like, well, Rick's not going to be doing that for a long time. So like after about a minute, the pain of being so late to that hammer went away because I kind of realized that it didn't really cost me that much. Maybe some mountain efficiency stuff, but it wasn't terrible.
I figured you were going to end up, I thought you knew about it. I figured you were just going to end up getting your hammer and going right to Ice Palace. I was like, how come he's not going for the island?
I had no idea. And I think all I had left was, what did I have left? I don't know. It was garbage. It was like pendants. I think I could have done the Dark Death Mountain stuff maybe, but it was just like, I'm going to go check it real quick because I forgot it earlier. Oh, nice. Look at that nice little hammer sitting there. And I was telling Rick in the race room, like, I kind of came into this thinking I was going to be very thorough. I don't know. It's like every seed that I have seen of this mode, people have just, they're not going to see Eastern Big Key Chester, like, Act today not beating Armos at the time, Jula yesterday not scouting Desert Ledge. I'm like, I'm going to check everything. And I don't know, just that one thing that I screwed up that I didn't run over there. I didn't want to swim over there, whatever it was. And cost me a little bit of time.
And I can understand you wanting to do that because anyone who's watched these races before, I know they say there's no such thing as PNRG, or PRNG or whatever that thing is called, but it always seems like there's certain things that focus in on seeds that you've seen compared to seeds that you are playing, and as a result, you wanting to scout that Desert Ledge, you wanting to be thorough, you wanting to check left side swamp, you wanting to check all of those things that have gotten a lot of the runners over the course of the first 4 days of this week. I totally can understand that, and I kind of figured that was going to be the case, especially where they put a lot of these items in the seed.
Yeah, it was like just one of those seeds. And we talked about it yesterday on comms, right? Like these casual boot seeds are either like 70 minutes or they're an hour and 40, and there's no in between, right? And seeing the hook shot early was like, all right, it's going to be one of those days, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm the rage rod. Hey, that thing's burn.
Yeah.
I was just saying when you got that notification of that pedestal, Rick, I was like, I'm pretty sure I just heard Rick yelling from the East Coast all the way from Seattle.
I think the actual thing I was saying is, all right, let's go. Go, 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 go.
Holy moly. The 80 keys basically is what you guys almost did. At least all dungeons.
we were getting ourselves ready to go for next week.
With the A80. Yeah, that's A80, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, we did more today than we need to next week.
Probably. But when you finished at AD with a sub 140, it could be worse.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
you are right in that regards. I was thinking maybe we do the simple, let's get the 115 seed out of the way this week, so that way I can rest and get ready for week 3.
But
Seed said no. Seed
it did.
100% said no. Anyways, GG's to you, Moogle Charm. Like I said, you are going to be a difficult opponent. I knew that going in, and I'm just happy the fact that I was able to keep it within 2 minutes of you. And best wishes to Beats from the East in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, likewise to you guys. It's cool to see you guys sitting at 3-1 up there with us. Good luck to you as well for the rest of the season.
Yeah, as long as we can stay off relegation watch this season, I'll be happy.
GG's to you both. Moonrisen, any final questions before these two, before we call it a night?
Actually, I was about to look into the upcoming schedule. Moogle Charm, the Beats from the East improved to 3-1, and you've got the Salt Miners next week. Your thoughts on that matchup?
Well, it should be a cakewalk. They're just the defending champs. That's all. Nothing
Please beat them
to
for
worry
me.
about. No, I'm terrified. It looks like it'll
I'm
be
terrified of having to face them in week 7.
Was that Krosky's week?
No, that's the Randomizer.
That's Randomizer.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll
I
be
get
me and
routed in week
Telethar.
6 with Krosky's week.
It doesn't get any easier from here, Rick. I'm sorry.
No, it doesn't, and that's why I'm just happy the fact that we're able to get a 3-1 start to this season, because it is not going to get any easier.
And speaking of that, Rick, the Bomb Squad's got Fluff Around and Find Out in week number 3. Your thoughts on that one, being 3-1 yourselves?
So we get Fluff Around and Find Out, which is a team that we faced last year, at least 2/3 of them in the Cross Keys week in week number 6. I was hoping to be able to face off against Zeke, but he's chosen not to play next week. So it's going to be me and Killer App against Wolfie and Drakey.
Sounds like some big matchups coming up in week 3. Thank you both, and GG's to both of you. Amazing race.
Thank you,
GG's.
GG's, Moogle Charm.
GG's to you both. That was amazing to watch. And we'll take this opportunity as well one last time to remind everybody to give these two runners a follow. Links are in chat. Also follow my co-com Moonrisen Phoenix and Mad Ewok Herd as well for doing all the fantastic tracking for us. But looking ahead at the schedule, I think we have a race going on currently. Yeah, my window's gone. Oh, there it is. I found it. We got a race going on SG3, I believe. It is the Your Mom's Favorite Rando team versus Don't Forget to Track Us, Gamachu versus Purdy Wong on SG3. Otherwise, we could be here till next week talking about all the upcoming races, but follow SpeedGaming through SpeedGaming 6 for all the rando needs. And all the races coming up, and ALTTPR Randomizer, ALTTPR League. Anyway, that'll about do it from us here, but why don't you go ahead and, Moonrisen Phoenix, why don't you take us on out of here?
Absolutely. Special thanks to Maddie Walkherd for the tracking. As I said before, trackers are the MVPs, especially tonight, and without you, I'm pretty much lost out there, so thank you so much. Lana B, thank you so much for doing the commentary with us tonight.
Likewise, my friend, it was a pleasure.
Special thanks to the Speed Gaming Network for their continued support and helping us broadcast all the matches here. And so, on behalf of my co-commentator, Lana Bean, on behalf of our tracker, Maddie Walkherd, on behalf of our racers, Moogle Charm and Adirondack Rick, I am Moonrisen Phoenix. Thank you all for watching. Please follow the ALTTPR League and join us tomorrow for some more league action. Good night, everybody.